Ain't gonna lie, Julian Sayin might be the most undeserved, hated college football player I've ever seen. Man, check out this clip, man.
Julian Sayin was never given anybody to compete with. He just came in, he had the job, he was never asked to get better, he was never asked to improve because who's going to take his spot? Julian Sayin never made any great throws. Julian Sayin never broke down any defenses. Every time that Julian Sayin played a team with a good defense, Ohio State couldn't score. Ohio State couldn't score against Miami. They're ranked 10th in the country. Ohio State couldn't score against Indiana. You lose 13-10. Ohio State can't score because they never had a quarterback battle. Julian Sayin never had to prove who he was, and Julian Sayin won a job that he was never qualified to have. Going into next football season, Ohio State doesn't have a starting quarterback. They should bring in 4 guys who are all qualified and make Julian Sayin compete with them. Make Julian Sayin prove that he's a college football starter.
I kind of think this guy, he's semi a troll because he makes videos like this all the time, and it's just blatant, horrible takes. Like, you go still address it. I ain't gonna lie, we go still address it. First, let's start off by talking about the season Julian Sayin just had. We're gonna talk about it statistically first. Mr. Sayin is coming off a superb redshirt freshman season. The redshirt freshman had just over 3,600 passing yards, 32 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions with an 88.4 QBR. Mind you, that is a 1-4 passing touchdown and interception rate as a redshirt freshman. Man, we didn't even talk about how efficient he was though. Like, man, he had a 77% passing completion rate with a whopping 86.1 adjusted, meaning they're not even factoring any of the drops. He was 74.1 on deep ball passes. So any pass that was 20 yards or more, he had a 74% passing rate on there. Not bad for someone who didn't really, earn the job, I guess. A stat sheet that says Sayin had 8 interceptions. According to PFF, he only had 6 turnover-worthy plays, so meaning he really should have had about 6 interceptions at most. I am a huge fan of Brooks Austin. Like, I love his content. I love what he's doing for the college football world. He's educating, and he's really good at breaking down film and all that. Like, in my opinion, he's top 5 for sure. But I will say, I feel like he could have kind of fixed his list up a little bit. I would have kind of put. I understand Josh Hoover got way more, experience than Julian Sayin, but you could at least put Julian Sayin in the top 5. I mean, honestly, man, I love Arch, but I don't think I'm putting Arch that high. I'm honestly gonna put Arch behind Julian Sayin, but I'm still high on Arch. I think Arch does have the highest upside between them. But for what I've seen so far, man, and who I want to trust so far, I'm trusting the guy with the 77% passing completion rate with an 86 adjusted rate and the most accurate quarterback in college football. So, like I said, I'm not gonna really hate on it. Like, everybody has their own opinion and all that, and he could be totally right, and I could be extremely wrong. Like, my whole analysis could be very wrong. But at this stage right now that I'm at, I trust Julian Sayin over Sam Levitt. I trust Julian Sayin over maybe like Arch. Like I said, CJ Carr, Darian Mensah, and Trinidad Chambliss, and Dante Moore. That's cool. Like, I can see where you're coming from with that, because I mean, those guys are studs. They're kind of like the most consistent of the bunch. But I don't know. I'm not really jacking the Arch Manning yet. Like I said, I'm an Arch Manning fan. I would love to see Arch Manning go #1. But regarding that, I'm not really jacking that one. I'm not gonna really act like the Julian Sayin hate is just like a hot topic. I see other guys talking about it. They're kind of on my side as well. Like, I want you to check out this guy who was previously at PFF, and he made some great points.
What more can you ask from a redshirt freshman, even with this team? I mean, he finished 3rd in the Heisman voting. I mean, and honestly, if he had beaten Indiana, if he'd found a way to beat Indiana, he would have won the Heisman. So, I mean, that's how good he was. He's the same guy every single week. You saw him kind of have to power and grit through some games when both Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith were hurt, right? And he found a way to grind through and just make the reads and play clean football. And I think that's a big thing. I go back to even the Texas game week 1, and it wasn't flashy. It was this ugly defensive slugfest, and basically manage this game. This is going to be a fist fight. Don't turn the football over, and when your moment comes, it'll come. And he throws a game-winning touchdown. I mean, it's people get so much into the draft stuff. What can this guy be right now if he was drafted right now? And I go, what more do you want from a 19-year-old kid who just finished third in the Heisman, one of the most accurate seasons, maybe the most accurate season that we've ever seen. He's got clean mechanics. Look, oh, he's got those monsters on the outside. Okay, was that crime? Like, I mean, Joe Burrow's had that both in college and in the NFL. Nobody's complaining here.
I don't think it'll be possible for me to agree with that video anymore. He played against a really complex Indiana defense, a defense that literally everyone struggled against. Besides, Penn State still struggled, but Penn State, they fought the hardest against that defense. And obviously he had a rough game against Miami, but I don't know anyone who didn't have a rough game against Miami. They also like to use Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith to ultimately go against him. But I don't think Joe Burrow had to deal with this amount of hate, like, to the same magnitude, if you get what I'm saying. Like, you heard a lot of questions with Joe Burrow. Like, of course, I mean, he can't have a better season than Cam Newton because he had way more NFL talent, and they kind of use that against him. But I think Julian Sayin's situation is a lot worse, bro. Like, he's 19 years old, and he has all this pressure on his shoulders, despite having the most accurate season in college football. Now that we've talked all the good things about Julian Sayin, about his upside and also the undeserved hate, we also do got to talk about some things he has to desperately work on. I think Miami and Indiana literally gave the blueprint on how to stop Julian Sayin, and this is something that he's going to have to work on this offseason. I've seen some good tweets about it. I've seen some good news about him working on it. But boy, oh boy, he's going to have to get out of the pocket. I think he was kind of spoiled with the offensive line at Ohio State because prior to the Miami and the Indiana game, they were easily like the best offensive line, top 3 offensive line. But as soon as they found the blueprint of how to stop the offensive line, Julian Sayin, he just had issues escaping the pocket. But what made Joe Burrow so superior was he knew how to get out the pocket. He knew how to semi-run, but he knew how to make a play regardless of any circumstance in college. With Julian Sayin, I don't really see that right now. As like I said, he's going to address it. I see tweets about it. I seen Ryan Day talking about it for the spring. He could be a Heisman favorite if he can get his pocket passing, or escaping a pocket. If he can get that in check, I think he could be a Heisman front runner, no question, no doubt, easily. But with that being said, this is gonna pretty much conclude the video. Like I said, I look at Julian Sayin more like a super game changer, like a beautiful passer, very accurate, very precise. Just give him the talent. That's how I look at him in the NFL. But yeah, like I said, like and subscribe. We got more videos coming, man. We putting this work in, man. Like I said, we're working on thumbnails and everything now. Like we're adding more stuff to the bag. So yeah, make sure y'all tune in, like, subscribe, man. I love y'all, man. And peace.